Hello, everyone. I'm Sign1News anchor Martha Anger. Here's a quick look at the top trending stories making headlines today. If you post an interesting comment about this update, we may add it at the bottom of the screen. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports an alarming spike in cases of syphilis in babies. And that's because their mothers, who were unaware they have syphilis, are passing it on to their children during pregnancy. And that exposes babies to dangerous health conditions. Children born with syphilis have suffered liver problems or even became deaf or blind. And in some cases, it can cause an early death. Congenital syphilis rates have increased about 700% in the past 10 years. In 2021, more than 2,600 babies were born with the infection. More than 200 of them died. Health experts say part of the problem may be that many doctors have not seen syphilis cases in decades and may not know it has returned. And that it can be prevented with one of the oldest and cheapest of drugs, penicillin. Another reason why syphilis rates have gone back up is money. When syphilis cases started to go down years ago, less money was spent on screening for it. Less money meant less awareness and vigilance, and the bacteria infection was able to spread again. Drug maker Eli Lilly announced a series of price cuts that would lower the cost of the most commonly used forms of its insulin by 70%. That is good news for the 37 million Americans living with diabetes. Cost has been a problem for many Americans who are forced to ration their insulin. And according to the American Diabetes Association, the average price of the drug nearly tripled between 2002 and 2013. Cutting the price will automatically cap out-of-pocket insulin costs to $35 for people who have private insurance and use participating pharmacies. The company says it will also cut the list price of its non-branded insulin to $25 a vial. That will make it the lowest list-priced mealtime insulin available. Last week, 31-year-old Christian Alexander Moreno was arrested and charged with attack by dangerous dog causing death and injury to an elderly person. Authorities say it happened after an elderly couple arrived at a friend's house. When the couple got out of their vehicle, they were attacked by two dogs that had escaped their yard nearby. Officials say firefighters had to fight the dogs off with their emergency tools. An 81-year-old man was killed. An elderly woman was critically injured. A third victim was bitten in the hand. And one of the fire captains was bit in the leg. Now authorities have arrested another person in connection to the attack. Moreno's wife. 31-year-old Abilene Schneider. She faces the same charges. Police say the couple held joint ownership of the 3 dogs involved. And officials say they had previously received calls from neighbors about the dogs. The 2 dogs involved in the attack and a 3rd dog from the same household that was left unrestricted were euthanized over the weekend. Do you remember the tragic story of a star University of Georgia football player named Devin Willock? He died in a horrific car crash just days after UGA won the national championship. UGA staff member Chandler LaCroix was also killed in the crash. Now police have announced an investigation determined that Willock's teammate and NFL hopeful Jalen Carter was racing LaCroix when the crash happened. LaCroix was driving more than 100 miles per hour before the SUV left the road and crashed into poles and trees. Investigators say speed and alcohol are believed to have been a factor in the crash. A toxicology report found both drivers, LaCroix and Carter, had a blood alcohol concentration more than twice Georgia's legal limit. Carter has been viewed as a potential first-round pick in the upcoming NFL draft. Now, he is facing reckless driving charges. Typically, when a car is repossessed, someone shows up at your house and hauls your car away with a tow truck. Now, automaker Ford has applied for a patent for technology that lets vehicles repossess themselves. If owners ignore warnings about missed payments, the system slowly starts disabling features on the car, like the GPS, air conditioning, cruise control, and the radio. And it could even send out irritating sounds when the driver is in the car. Next, it could lock the owner out. If the owner still doesn't pay, the vehicle may drive itself to a spot for a tow truck to pick it up. Or to an impound lot, repossession agency, or lending institution. And if the repossession cost more than the vehicle is worth, it could drive itself to a junkyard. Wow, that's creepy. "36-year-old actor and director Michael B. Jordan is having the best week ever. Last night in Los Angeles, he was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And tomorrow night, Creed 3 opens in theaters nationwide. The sequel is Jordan's directorial debut. Jordan has been acting professionally for over 20 years. He made his acting debut in an episode of The Sopranos in 1999. Speakers at the Walk of Fame celebration included Ryan Coogler, who directed Jordan in Creed and Black Panther, and actor Jonathan Majors, who co-stars with Jordan in Creed 3. Congratulations, Michael B. Jordan. You earned it. Photographers around the world captured a spectacular sight in the sky Wednesday night. They captured the moment the planets Venus and Jupiter passed each other. It's called a conjunction. The two planets appeared so close to one another, some are calling it a kiss. In reality, the closest they actually came from our perspective is about the diameter of a full moon apart. Venus and Jupiter are the brightest objects in the night sky right now, so the conjunction was very visible from Earth. Conjunctions actually happen frequently because planets orbit the sun in similar paths. So there is no astronomical significance to them. They're just interesting to see when the planets are so bright. Sign1News will be broadcasting updates Monday through Friday. A big thank you to our Sign1News app supporters. You help make this broadcast happen. You can download the Sign1News app by heading to the App Store or Google Play Store on your smartphone, and you can also watch on Apple TV, Amazon, and Roku.